I'm going to start the conversation with I'm a little bit mad at you. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. What happened? You left. Let me tell you why I'm mad at you. Can I tell you why I'm mad at you? You see, I totally we were just talking off before we started. We were talking like no, it was like no problem, and now I'm bum rushing you, telling you that I'm mad at you. Here's why I'm mad at you. Well, I didn't talk to you all week. It's the U.S. Open. I didn't talk to you all week.
Yeah, it happens.
No, it doesn't happen. We're supposed to be chit-chatting about this or that or whatever. And all week, I don't talk to you until today.
You know, I thought you had some medical tests or something. Or maybe
I did. Well, that was last week. This week, I've been home. I told you. Did I tell you the results or I didn't tell you the results?
No. You're.
Oh,
so is the transition going well? Like, do you start losing facial hair?
You're not nice, bro. You're not nice. Did I tell you the results? Or
No. What's going on?
I'll tell you off there. I'll
tell the world.
No. I don't. No. I'll tell you off there.
You're going to be around though, right? Like we can plan the 26 calendar.
The what calendar?
The 2026 calendar.
Yeah. Well, allegedly we can. Let's not talk. I don't want to talk about it on the air. I don't want to. When I have something to say publicly, I'll say it. But
put out a press release. Put out a Chat GPT press release.
Actually, now I actually feel bad that I didn't tell you what the results were, because now you got to wait an hour, and it's okay. I can't believe I didn't tell you.
I was on.
All right, let's not
I don't want
to talk about this.
I inquired, right, and you told me, it's coming on this day. So I was just waiting on you to let you tell me. Yeah, you were in that guy's house in New York.
Yeah. All right, let's just stop the conversation here. I don't want to talk about this, but now I'm mad that we did, because now I'm going to get 7,000 messages asking me if I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm not. I'm here, right? You see me? Okay. But we'll talk about it off air, but because there's a story that goes with it. Okay. Anyway, let's just move on. So I'm mad at you because it's U.S. Open week, and so did you? I'm actually confused. Did you go or did you not go?
No, I was only going to go if you were going to go. That's.
Oh.
That's why I kept.
Go? I thought your dad was going to Atlantic City or something.
He was going to go to Atlantic City with his buddy only if I was going to go to the event, because it was his last week before school started, so we were looking for something to do. You didn't want to go, so I was like, "What? Fuck it! We can do something else."
Earlier when I was talking about that Mustang, which is, wait till you see that picture when it's done.
Yeah,
but anyway,
that's the pinnacle of Mustangs. Like, if you're a Mustang collector, anything that says Shelby on it not only holds its value, but it's something.
I don't know why, but just something told me to ask you if that was a good car, that particular one, because I take pictures of cars all the time. But for whatever reason, I said, let me ask him this one. Anyway, can you just buy a car that we can drive, that you're allowed to take out of the driveway? It's the guy. For you guys at home who don't know, this guy buys cars that he doesn't drive, so we can't go anywhere. Why? If you want to buy something to look at, that's pretty. Buy a rock or something. Buy a paperweight. You can buy cars.
That's the problem. That's the problem. I used to buy rocks, and
yeah.
They got crushed up.
Rocks.
They got crushed up and put in my nose.
Well, at least they didn't go to waste. Buy a beater. Buy a $5,000 beater so I can go to the U.S. Open or whatever.
What are you worried about? Every time we got to go somewhere, I rent a car, and it's something that's comfortable for you.
Yeah,
believe me, if you had to get in my Mustang,
truck was nice. That truck,
yeah,
that was nice. Actually.
I had a big Dodge. That was a good truck.
Yeah, that actually drove nice. I've never been in that kind of truck before.
And you left Cheez-It crumbs all over it.
Did I? Well, I didn't even want to eat the Cheez-It. You made me, and then I couldn't stop. So you're contributing to my downfall.
I'm the reason behind this medical dilemma.
Well, you contributed to it, yes. And my death will be on your
fucking
hands.
At least they were baked Cheez-Its. They weren't fried.
What was? They were good. I don't.
Yeah,
I haven't had them since.
extra toasty Cheez-Its. For those of you at home, they take it's regular Cheez-Its that are just burnt and left in a little extra.
Yeah, they were actually good. That was Super Billiards Expo. All right. What I forgot what
the lead. Our
Texas.
Our angel investor.
Is he here, Texas?
I don't see anybody in the chat.
Oh,
we started.
Good. Perfect. It's gonna go smooth. All right, so you tell the story because it happened with you, and I don't want to get anything wrong.
So we had a bit of shirts, the blue level 2 billiard shirt to sell through. Yeah. We were selling them. Our many fans were buying them off one at a time. And then Tex, his actual name is Daniel Dan, and his name is Texas Sled on the Instagram.
I just call him something like that.
I've just been saying Tex. Anyway, he bought a shirt, he received the shirt, and then he messaged me back and said, "How many do you have left?" So I told him, and he's like, "Look, I want to buy those shirts, but I don't want the shirts. I just want to donate and invest in the show. I love what you guys are doing. I'm a fan. We've obviously, before we even doing the show, we were friendly with him, and he was just just a guy that we chatted with, because he's one of those people that has a knowledge for pool. He's not a pool dummy or anything
very
like
good
that.
Knowledge, very good.
Yeah. You've had him on the Instagram.
Yeah,
lives before.
Let me even go one step further. I was at the Texas Open one year, and he was there, and I met him in person and hung out with him. Not a lot because he was playing a lot. I was there with Skyler that year and Billy, and he either had it or maybe I gave it to. I don't remember. No, I think he already had it. But one of the days that he was at the Texas Open, he was wearing a level 2 billiard shirt, and I was like blown away by that. You just, it's just. It's, for anybody else, it's not a big deal, but for me, it's a big deal to see somebody in Texas. I live in New Jersey, so to see somebody, I just love that, right? And he's been a long time on the page, the original page. Good guy, great knowledge, but I want to say more than good guy, like very positive, very
just
like a positive influence. And I don't want to just say about pool, because I often say, there's good ambassador, and he's a good ambassador, but beyond pool, he's a good guy, and I don't know a lot about him. I get the impression that he's private, and that's okay. I get it. But I do get the impression that he's kind of like a cowboy, a Texas cowboy. That's the impression I get. But Texas, a shout out for you, pal, for that. That's awesome. Now we have these shirts, and you and I haven't even spoken. So between now and the next episode, we'll come up with a contest so that we can hand out some shirts.
Yeah.
This will make a good commercial for that. But sponsored by Texas. So
they're already paid for.
Oh, so you know what I'll do?
You guys benefit.
You know what I'll do, and I'm not saying this as a joke. I'm going to come up with a logo for Texas, and he could be the official sponsor of the next show, and we'll move Jamie out, or we'll make Jamie's logo smaller.
I've got room in the border.
Yeah, we got room, and we'll it'll be the official Texas show or whatever. But I mean that's awesome because
I wrote him a little note. That's like this day and age, people don't do shit like that. And that's a stand-up move. That's a generous move. That's a selfless move.
I don't want to be a dick, but why didn't Jeff think of that? I mean, I don't want to be a dick.
This guy's flying to the U.S. Open for the week. Come on, Jeff.
Jeff. You know what? I will say something to Jeff. You didn't talk to me all week, but Jeff did. So I think he's trying to get a spot.
That's not true, because I was sending you the links to the free versions of what was playing.
Yes. But anyway, I think Jeff is trying to take your spot because he's sending me stuff, and I'm trying to read it, but do what I do during the day, and sometimes I don't always get to him right away. But I think he and I think a lot alike, because a lot of stuff he says, which led me down this rabbit hole earlier. If we have time, we'll talk about it later. But I did a whole rabbit hole thing. Let's get into it later. But all right, so Texas, thank you. The Texas sponsored contest will come out in the next show. Rob and I will figure out how to do that, because we obviously want to be fair about it. And then we'll have to figure out what the next shirt is, or if we do another shirt, or let me do a little teaser. Or if we even do another shirt with OTR, maybe we want to talk about something else that is I don't know. We'll talk about it.
There's many pans on the fire.
The problem is I walk away from the stove for weeks at a time, and that's the problem.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? I feel like I'm not properly lit this week. Am I?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little dark. Where my all right. I look good though, right? I'm centered. I'm not. You can see me. I feel like I'm a little bit low. I might have to sit on a telephone book next week. It does feel lower. I don't know why. Nothing's changed. It's the same stand. Everything. All right. Hey, I was watching it, and then I fell asleep. It was a good match on today.
Yeah, that's it's gradually different from the week we spent watching the WNT product. But
Yeah.
the last day of the WPBA, when they do the hot seat and they got the final four, and even if you lose on the final day, like, you still got a chance to win. They make it fun.
Hold on, I didn't tell anybody what match we're talking about. We should probably tell them that before we get into it. The Christina.
Yeah, well, this is the WPBA Olhausen Classic in Denver, Colorado. Your usual suspects. Actually, Kelly Fisher wasn't there. She was winning somewhere else. I think she was in China winning K-ball or something like that.
Yeah, there's a big. I saw that big event in China.
But it was, it's everybody there. Christina, Margaret, Pia, Allison Fisher was there. Savannah played really good. So actually Savannah top 5 for her, which is outstanding.
Oh, what that? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Man, she's so good, huh?
Yes, it's you see these names on the list. Like April Larson finished 16th, Emily Duddy 18th, Carolyn Powell 22nd, Monica Webb 8th. Here's Savannah. She's not even in high school yet, and she went 5-2 on the weekend. I mean, that's and there's some names in there.
Yeah,
she's holding her own now.
And being an outsider, I don't know the first thing about Savannah, but I do occasionally see her social media pages, and it's clear that she does other things than play pool. She's talented with other things too. So it's not like her parents, at least this is the impression I get anyway. It's not like she's got an unhealthy addiction with pool, or her parents have an unhealthy way of pushing her to. It's clear that she does other stuff, right? She quasi, if you can say this, but quasi looks like a regular teenager as far as a balance of time and stuff. So imagine she's that good and she does other things, right? Which is good, because you want to be healthy, right? Mentally healthy. You don't want to do too much of one thing, right? Especially when you're a teenager, because it's supposed to be, your fun years, right? And your explore other things years. But it's amazing how good she is, even though it's not the only thing she does.
Who knows? I mean, what is she, 13, 14 now? She gets in those years where she matures a little, 16, 17, 18. She might not even want to mess with pool anymore.
That's the thing. How many juniors, excelled when they were juniors, and then they go to college and they find a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or or just whatever, the career.
Not many people want to do high travel for no money. So
yeah, I think though, I had I'm not going to say who, but I had a conversation with a pro this week, very in depth, and the pro said something that was really cool, that I thought was cool, because I had the same opinion, but it's just I had the opinion as a fan, and the pro was saying it as a pro, first-hand knowledge. But the pro said the last 5 to 8 years of professional pool has changed so much. The level of quality of players has changed. The money has changed. The quality of the events has changed. It's just he said it's just he got into specifics, which I'm not going to get into, but he said it's just so much better. So if that's what has happened the last 5 to 8 years, if Savannah's, let's say, 14, what will happen in the next 6 years? It could be a whole different thing for Savannah, which is nice. But again, she could still, who knows, and never even play at that level. Maybe her lifelong dream is to be a marine biologist, and that, and you can't do that at however old she is, and I don't know. 6 years from now, I probably won't even be living in 6 years. So you can decide what you can keep. You and Jeff, when you and Jeff have the show, or you and Texas, or whoever. Maybe it could be you, Jeff, and Texas.
It's going to be me and Mike DeShane during the round table.
Hey, you told me something about the wall that you changed? Where am I now?
So you would be right here.
Up again behind your head, so we don't see me the whole show.
I have a very nice picture right here. We've talked about it several times.
I really, to be honest,
it's a bikini picture in Greece, or yeah. So
you put that on there? You are so bad.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite picture. It should be every guy's favorite picture.
I can't even face her now. That I hope she never sees it.
Hey,
oh my God!
Do you see it? Do you see it?
Yeah, well now, yeah. You know who I see constantly over here, but she does for sure. She doesn't pay attention. She's so nice. I forget her name now again. But it's the same thing.
Jeanette Lee.
All right, let's stop talking about girls on your wall. I can't believe you put that picture up there.
You can't even see it. You don't even know what it is.
Well, you just said it, and now I'll be zooming in when I watch the replay. I'll be zooming in.
You'll never see it.
It actually, you sent me that picture, so I don't have to zoom in on yours. She's so beautiful.
She was posting like bathroom selfies, in between matches. Yeah, and I was like, man, most of the time, like you see your girl taking a picture in a bathroom, like you think she's thirsty, but everything she does is charming, and she looks great doing it.
Yeah,
she can fall down getting out of a car.
You think she just rolls out of bed and she's that beautiful?
Yeah, she's got like a Pantene commercial.
Yeah, she's so beautiful.
Not only is she deadly with looks, but she is setting herself apart from the rest of the pack.
So she won today.
So
when I was watching, it was 6-6, and I fell asleep.
The first match, she actually lost to Margaret. Yeah, and then what happened? And then she went on to play. Margaret went on to play Pia. And then the winner of that, it's even confusing to me how it worked out. Regardless, she lost the first match. I think she played. So Christina played Pia, and then won that match, and then got the chance to play Margaret again in the finals. And it was tied 6-6, and then Christina just went crazy, and I think she won.
Yeah,
10-6.
But you know what? As good as Christina is, but Margaret plays just as well. They've
been putting out the Fargo ratings, and they showed like Wisconsin's Fargo, and like 2 of the top 3 names are Steyers. So it's like Tyler, somebody else, and then her is like the
you have
third
to
Fargo.
look up the Fargo for ice fishing, because I bet you because it's Wisconsin. I mean, or maybe there's a Fargo for making cheese, or maybe there's a Fargo for Green Bay Packers. I don't know. It's Wisconsin, bro.
Still, that's where I think
is that even part of the United States? Didn't we give Wisconsin to Canada? I'm pretty sure we did.
We gave it to Manitoba, Winnipeg.
I'm pretty sure that Tyler is actually not an American. He's a Canadian. I'm sure we get. Did Trump give Wisconsin away?
I think Trump is working on
we
it.
had to pay. Didn't we have to pay Canada to take it?
He's working on a trade. I think we're going to pick up Toronto, and it's going to become part of New York, and then we're going to.
So we get Drake. We get Drake for Tyler and Margaret. That's a great trade. We made out on that one.
There's a lot of Italians in Toronto anyway, so we're just going to bring Ontario down. We're going to make it New York State.
Though I did go to Toronto once, and I was in a McDonald's, and they put vinegar on the French fries in Toronto.
Yeah,
like, there's vinegar on the table at the McDonald's.
They got some weird things happening there. I know they got a heavy Italian population for some reason. Maybe all the Gindaloons that floated over here, they went right instead of left to trying to find the Statue of Liberty, and they hit Ontario instead.
And then they freeze your ass off.
Yeah.
Actually, Toronto I thought was a nice town when I was there. I thought it was very nice.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff going on there.
Do you think? I'm sure it has. Well, let me ask you this. I'm sure it does. So let me rephrase the question. What percentage of how good Margaret is playing now has to do with that she has a practice partner? How much she was good before, but I think she has really elevated her game.
Yeah, and you see that like the top 3 players all have husbands that are top speed players.
Yeah,
Pia, Pia. Margaret, Christina, they all have significant others that are top speed players. I think it helps. They play completely different. It's hard to compare a woman's game to a man's game. Everything down to the way they hold the cue is completely different. But I think it helps.
I think it's fair to say that. Let's just stick with Margaret. I think it's fair to say that she could easily play 10% better because her practice partner is Tyler, right? Well, 10% for her is a big leap forward. 10% is a lot. Let's say Savannah was playing 10% better. She's let's say she's 14. I don't know how old she is. 10%. She just came in 5th. 10%. She could be in 3rd. So I think it's a big leap forward. And I also think. As much as I knock Tyler, I mean he's a good player. He just doesn't make it to the finish line. But it's hard when you got something in your eye, right? It's hard, Anyway,
a lot of things going on.
It's you always want to play somebody better than you, and you got to figure that they practice.
Yeah.
I don't want to say all day because they probably go grocery shopping and ice fishing and all that stuff too. But But think about how you play all day in your base or all night in your basement. How much better you might play if you were playing against Tyler every day, as long as you weren't, in jail for murder.
Or how much better would he be playing me?
Okay,
I got a lot of balls to share.
All right. Okay. All right. Whatever. Okay. Hey, whatever help the guy could get,
Yeah,
because he could certainly use it.
I'll put him through like that Vince Vaughn dodgeball program.
He's actually, I think fundamentally his game is unbelievable. It just
look. I was going to bring it up, more when we talk about the U.S. Open, but you see this heater that Yap's on. Obviously Gorst had it last year. FSR the year before that. I mean, right. Do you even really hear about FSR right now?
Yeah,
and he's still a great player. It's just guys step up and they get in a role, and it's like the guys that were the best a year ago ain't making the cut now, and that's what's exciting to see is that any one of these guys, a Robbie Capito can step up and win, a Yap can step up and win.
Like look at how Filler 2 or 3 years ago was so dominant.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, he's not any less of a player today. He still has that skill set. It's just that climbing up that mountain, it's always, somebody's up there, somebody's down, somebody's, I think that only makes the sport better. But the top guys are consistently at the top week in and week out, right? Like anybody who went into the to the Open this week knew that Gorst, was going to be there at the end. A winner, I don't know, but be there at the end, and the odds even said, you know, he was the odds-on favorite, but it really is anybody's game. I mean, you know, a couple of weeks ago, Johan won. Johan, we haven't heard from Johan in, you know,
Yeah.
other than Waxgate, we haven't heard from him in a while, and he's a dominant player. You know, so it makes it very interesting. You know, it makes it interesting. You know, it's almost like in football, like the Eagles are going to play some suck ass team. You know that the Eagles are going to win. You still watch, but you know it's going to be boring, right? Well, you don't have that in pool. I think I thought of something important in regards to pool. Part of the other thing, if we have time later, is, you know how Matchroom. I'm going to say something nice about Matchroom right now. So let's everybody buckle those seatbelts. But how much Matchroom has elevated the sport since Emily has taken over. It doesn't hurt me to say that. Actually, I think she has done some awesome things, right? But one thing that I think is missing is the news media component of it, because you have this driving force with Matchroom, but we don't have a solid reporting of let me give an example. There's Sports Center, and Sports Center, you know, during baseball season, everything that's happening in baseball. During football season, everything that's happening in football. Whereas there is not one end-all, be-all type of Sports Center type thing for pool. And Emily has brought pool to a whole new level, and it's only going to get better. But unfortunately, the news part of it is so fragmented. You know, you have that whole Facebook people, and you have the whole Instagram people, and then you have the whole Reddit people. You know, so
something like that
driving force for the news to add to the hype of what Emily is doing.
And I think that's where, you know, things like ourselves come into play. You know, obviously, in 77 Billiards, you know, if you're looking for Asian pool player news, I mean, he's the first source that you're going to see it from. We play a part in that. Obviously, Molina Mike plays a part in that. I think pool is still looked at as taboo. You know, years ago when it was on TV and it was sponsored, it was Camel Cigarettes presents 9-ball, and today it's Matchroom and all that. But I mean, it's that's more conducive there. You know, they do snooker, darts, all that stuff is big time there. It's like here, like it still needs to have the foothold. And I think once it has the foothold here, or reestablishing the foothold here, I think that's when it can take off. And how do you get that? More events here. Stop killing the history of the game. You know, Derby is hard to find. You know, international's always up in the air. You know, the only thing we really got is the U.S. Open, and that's once a year. Yeah. So I think it'll get better. Hopefully, you know, like our friend Jeanette Lee says, you know, we're ambassadors to the sport. Maybe that's the way to show it. You're looking for a news media outlet? Come watch our show. Go watch Molina Mike. Go watch the Boomer and Freeze show, because we're giving you these options like ESPN, Fox Sports, you know, CBS Sports.
I'm going to disagree with you there. It's not us or Molina. It's got to be somebody that's there every day, talking about it every day, even if it's just 20 minutes, right? That's talking about it every day, because something happens every day, and you don't hear about it because nobody's reporting it. You know, the police chief here in town said to me yesterday, how is it that you're always where the news is? And the reality is, because locally I have a separate from my page, a whole different page that is a news page for my local town. And the reality is, if it's not on my if it's not on my page, nobody knows it. It's not news, right? Because it's on my news page, then it becomes a bigger deal, right? So if nobody's talking about it, because there's a million things that happen during the course of the week between events and things like that, and I just think there's a real need for, and who knows, maybe even it has to be something where Matchroom, I hate to put it on Matchroom. It's not really their responsibility, but it might be something where Matchroom needs to come up with their own. I'm calling it Sports Center, but because that's the only way I can really make that connection. But
like Howard Stern News, it's
right, yeah, exactly. That's a great point. Yeah, that's a good point. Because who was going to because nobody was going to cover Howard every day. Yeah, right.
News department.
Right.
Matchroom News.
Yeah,
and Predator Pro Billiards News.
Yeah, and the cool thing is Emily and company, Jake and everybody else over there, they have access to the players. They have a relationship with the players. So, what would happen like Howard 100 is that, they send 2 people to Singapore to watch Yap for 2 days and film him and get all this stuff, right? Or whatever. But that's a big commitment, right? Financially, it's a big commitment. And then how do you have a, almost like a TMZ where it comes on every day and they do it live. But where you where are you going to put it? And are you going to have the viewership? But my point is, there's got to be an outlet, because as good as AZ Billiards is, or as good as 77 Billiards is, it's still lacking in some way, because there's so much news to be had.
Yeah, because who reports the news? Me or you, Dunsky? That's where people get it from. In the day of social media, that's where people unfortunately get their plug in.
People have lives that they're busy, right? So, but what percentage, like today, like you and I, because we're silly, but what percentage of people were worried about the Christina match tonight? 10%, but let's go crazy and say 20% were worried about it. How many actually watched it? And then even further, how many who didn't watch it took the time to look it up and see? It's such a small percentage. However, if there's a buy-in every day, like the Sports Center, all over the country, there's news radio.
This is your official news source.
Yeah, right, tuned, right. Yeah. And it only will hype things up. Because the other thing is, I think the average person doesn't even know what's going on. The average person, there's always going to be super.
That's why your page was so important. You're the level two billiards.
The old page, right?
The first version. That's why it was so important. Like if I wanted to know what's going on in the world of pool, it's like, where am I going to find it from? Billiards Digest. It's a pamphlet.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on Jay's page. Because if I hear anything, I'm going to hear from him first.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that, because I take that as a compliment, and that was my goal then.
Yeah. But it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It was 2, 3, 4 hours a day sometimes. And listen, and I'm not saying I did it for free. I mean, I was compensated for it, but in my life, things, goals have changed, and I want to do different things now. It's a grind to do that every single day. I mean, breaking news as it happened, it would be posted, or players. It was no big deal for me just to reach out to a player and get a quote and stuff like that. Now, obviously, because I had that presence back then, my best weeks, I was doing a million views a week. 2 million. My best week was 2.1 million views in a week. That's unheard of for a sport like pool.
That's like sweeps week shit.
Yeah, that's crazy numbers, and it was a grind, and I did it for a long time. Yeah. So it wasn't
look at during Mosconi Cup when we try to keep up with this match and we post every day. It's tiring, and that's 1 week out of the year. It's still a pain in the ass. Like so therefore you would have to devote a department, a couple people at least.
Yeah, and people want to get paid. Yeah. So it's money. It's money. When I went to Mosconi Cup, the entire during the event. I only went from my room to the press area because there's press to the press area, which was actually a nice room. To the match, to the press area, to my room, and there's just so much work to be done. Edit the videos, edit the photos.
Yeah.
I did the live show every day before it started with Carl Boys, and then I did separate interviews with different people, and then Matchroom's having different stuff every day, and you got to go to all that, And during the entire event, I never did anything other than my room, which was upstairs, and the event, and that's being there. So here, if I were to do the same thing here at my house, it's even more because now you're trying to track people down, and you got to wait for them, and look at what it took to get Robbie Capito. I mean, you and I were both awake at a time that we're never awake, which is funny because everybody else in the world is awake, but you and I sleep odd times. It's weird. But
we're anyway, grinding when the world's resting.
I don't know how we got so. I don't feel like the wheels fell off because I think
let's close out. So, congrats, Christina. Congrats, Margaret. That it's like the two of them are the new Kelly Fisher and Allison Fisher. We're going to be seeing them battle each other for the next 10, 15 years, and I'm all about that.
And I don't know the stories. I'm saying this as what I think. I don't know anything. I'm not saying it that I know anything, but I don't think there's any love lost between those two.
No. I'm sure. Look, we heard some things in the past that one person's husband didn't get along with the other person's husband when they were put together. So maybe it extends, but I don't know. Girls seem to hide it very well. So
I think also girls are hiding. Women are also catty.
Yeah.
And I think there's also, and I'm not saying this about either player, but there's got to be some level of jealousy. There has to be.
You know what's funny is you see it in they have what they call ultimate breaking now in WPBA, which is the opponent racks for you, and if you're breaking, you can go check on the rack. You can't touch it, but you can point them out to where it's fucked up and make them fix it. So during the final match, they had to get a guy to step in and do the racking because Christina was going, "Nope, there's gaps." Margaret was coming back, "No, there's gaps." So I think maybe it comes out in other ways, but I can definitely see that cattiness happen.
I think there's a triangle there because I don't think it's just those two because I think Pia's in that mix too.
Yeah, but Pia is like I think if there was any one person that was nicer than all of them, I think it's Pia. She just looks like she's.
And then you have this, component too. I think she's also ruthless too, though, because here's the other thing you have: Pia's German, right? And Christina is Russian, and then Margaret is Belarusian. I don't know how you say it, right? And now Christina's the kind of American, and Margaret's kind of American. It's I think you threw all this stuff in the blender. But how about just this? The Russian versus the German, just from that point of view, it's so but it only makes for better.
I do not like that crowd. She is putting racks in my balls.
I hate you. I have to fix this light. It's driving me nuts.
Well, fix the light. Let's take a second to welcome the guests that we have in the chat. We have our friend Diana, our Canadian friend
she
there.
Never comes on our show.
And I think we tried to have her one time, and we were having audio problems.
Off, right?
Yeah. But hello, Diana, and we have somebody in here, Black. I think Black is that the barbershop person, if I'm not mistaken.
The barbershop guy said, "Send me a message."
Yeah. So
heard from him.
Diana said we can take. She said Canada would be happy if we took Toronto and made them a part of New York. So she's willing to make that trade. We'll put in the papers.
Trudeau or whatever his name is.
Oh, here's our buddy. Text just popped on. Text.
You have to watch the replay because we did. 10 minutes on
we shouted you out, buddy. And while you're here, we'll tell you thanks again for what you did for us. That's an
No,
amazing
no, no, no,
selfless
no,
act.
don't say nothing. He's late. He's got to go back and watch the replay. We did 10 minutes on the guy. Now we got to, because he's late, we got to talk about him more. Oh, go ahead. Say whatever you're going to say.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I
How about
told
like a Texas Ranger star. We'll make that his logo. Like the Texas Rangers has a star, and you know what I mean. Remember, I was
yeah,
do the
yeah.
logo
Yeah, yeah.
for the next show.
That'd be
But
cool.
don't say anything. Don't say, because he'll have to go back and watch it. He doesn't know what we're talking about. All right, let's go back to Diana. Diana, here's the trade we want to make. We want to give you Wisconsin, and the two players that come with Wisconsin, and we'll take Toronto or Drake.
We'll trade you 2 Styers for 1 Mora.
No, we don't want more. No.
But
They gotta have one.
He's a Toronto guy.
No. He's gotta move. He's gotta move to Edmonton or something. because they have to have at least one player that has a chance of winning. Just at least one.
Yeah.
You know. So I like Mora, but they gotta
He's
Mora.
you know, I made a note about him. He's been coming on great, man. He's showing up in all the knockout rounds again, and I don't know if he switched from left to right and back, but he's been playing great, man.
You just reminded me of something. Tell me who this is, because I am blown away that I don't know this person. Who is? You know what? I can't even say his name anyway. But the guy that beat SVB the first time, the Russian. I've never heard of this guy.
Oh,
he's got a name out of
Sevelinsky or something like that. Is that
it's a name I'll never be able to say? But
yeah,
you heard of him before?
I know.
I feel like a little bit embarrassed. I don't know who he is.
You know what? When that guy made it to the round of 16, or no, he made it to the round of 8. That Filipino guy, Bayonin.
Yeah,
I was like, who the hell is this guy? And he's ranked like, what is he, like 5th, 6th in? He's 11th in Asian points. That's crazy, man. These guys are popping up out of nowhere. Good. I like to see it.
Maybe because I don't get Russia TV that I don't know this player, but I never heard of him, and I feel like, wait a minute. Okay, here's his name. Arsene. I'll butcher it for sure. But you know what? He's from Russia, but he's from Russia, but he plays under the Finland flag.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
War related, or if that's has nothing to do with the war. But anyway, Arseny Sevastanov. Stanov. I don't know how to say it.
Arseny Shevinova.
I feel like a little bit like, wait a minute, should I retire? I don't. It's the first time I literally never heard a player that, there's players you hear at like U.S. Open that, are donators, but this is a guy that beat SVB. This is all right. So this is what they say about him. Born in 2003, so he's about 22, and hails from Russia, though he represents Finland in competition. He playing. It says, it looks like he ignites. So he's playing. He's playing with it. It's only got model numbers here. Mezq, he's playing with it. Yeah. All right. Competitive highlights. He came in 17th place at the Estonia. This is in 2025. Came in 25th. Came in 17th place at Estonia Open. Came in 9th place at the Tome V10 Open. So I guess it's probably normal that I don't know who he is. Came in 33rd at the UK Open. He has earned $3,000 this year, placing him 227th in the earnings. So I guess it's fair that I don't know who he is, right? But I don't want to make a big deal of it, but I mean, good for him, because we've said 1,000 times anybody can win any given day, right?
Yeah.
But that's a huge win, and he said some cool things afterwards about it. But the match saw Arseny, let's say that's how you say it, win 4 of the last 5 racks, showcasing his composure and skill under pressure. His impressive win was widely shared across platforms. Matchroom Pool and social media highlighted it was captions like Arseny, however you say his last name, Wow, the young Finn pulls out the greatest ever performance to defeat Shane Van Boening at U.S. Open. Absolute Pool described it as the greatest victory of his career. That will be the greatest victory of his career forever.
Yeah.
Because how do you really? I mean, how do you really get better than that? I mean, here's a literally an unknown, right? It's ranked 227. That's unknown. So it's fair that I don't know who he is. And he didn't beat SVP at Florida Open. He beat him at the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
Five-time winner he beat.
You're doing pretty good if that happens.
Yeah, so good for him. Let's hope we see some more of him. We know based on previous as far as history, we know that will definitely boost his confidence, and so hopefully we'll hear more from this Russian Finn. And the Russians and the Finns don't get along either. Do the Russians get along with anybody? North Korea.
Who is getting along with Russia now?
North Korea. Unless you're a conscript, then you're not happy with Russia. Man, the guy sent 30,000 over, and 30,000 are dead. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I put him out there like cannonball fodder. It's horrible, horrible. But good for him. Good for this. Good for him. Did you watch that match? I didn't watch it. That particular match.
No. There was a lot of the early stages I didn't watch. I picked up. I check in on it, but once it gets to the knockouts, then that's when I'm into it.
This guy reminded me of something. I just want to back up for 1 second. I'm not going to go on a whole long rant today about it, but I am in the future. I read today that Christina was not born in Russia. Now, she lived in Russia, but she was not born in Russia. She was born in Ukraine. She's Ukrainian.
I think she knew Vitaly first, because you see all those pictures with them when they were in the
whole
EPDF.
time I feel like I read that today. I never knew that. I read that today, and now I feel like, and I think if you're, maybe you know better than I. I know that Ukraine was part of Russia at one time, but I don't think Christina was born, right? Like the breakup was like in the 90s, I think, right? But anyway, in my mind, as an American, never being there and not understanding the culture, I think of as Ukraine as one country and Russia as another, right? Now, again, granted, they were all one thing, but Wisconsin used to be a part of us too, but now they're Canadian, right? So while they used to be part of us, they're Canadian. So anyway, why then? And I'm going to ask. I'm not saying it negative. Why then do you think Christina is so? I mean, all this time I've known Christina, I've never thought of her as Ukrainian. I've always thought of her as Russian. And maybe your parents are Russian, or maybe that if you're from Ukraine, if you were born in Ukraine, you still think you're Russian. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a border, like you claim both, like some of us that live, close to New Jersey on the Pennsylvania side. We can claim Jersey just as easy as PA. Like you're a perfect example. You're right on the border of two places.
Okay, yeah, but and then here's another interesting thing. It's not really pool related, but I know. So now this is saying she was born in Moscow, but something I read earlier today said she was born in Ukraine. Well, I'm going to ask her.
Yeah,
maybe the Ukraine thing was different. And then if you are here's another. Let's not apply this to Christina because it's not fair for her. She's not here to talk about it. But if you were born in Ukraine, right, which was once part of Russia, and then you live in, let's say you live 10 years in Ukraine. You're born there. You lived for 10 years, and now you live in Moscow. Let's say. Who are you cheering for in the war? Who like? You have to pick a side. What side do you go?
I don't know. I think it's probably wherever their parents are. They're.
It's such
pro.
It's such a.
It's a mess. Even
Absolute mess.
Trump had Putin there, and the next day he leaves and he lobs like 500 bombs.
I just I don't get what I don't know. Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't why. I mean, I not like 2 weeks ago. I did some deep dive. The number of people that die in that war every day is unbelievable.
7,000 a week.
It's crazy, and like I don't know. It's seven. That's like it's 1,000. It's 1,000 a day. 1,000 people a day are dying the bullets and things like. And over what? For what? You know
over Monopoly.
Yes, so dumb. So dumb.
Jeff just said Christina's from Belarus, not Russia.
Well, now we'll add that to the mix. Margaret's from Belarus.
We got to ask her. We got to get her back on. I would love to get her back on and have Vitali on again. I feel like those were two good interviews that we had at Super Billiards Expo.
Yeah.
Christina kind of got interrupted when that guy tried to take our bags. And then
we got accused of being thieves. We don't even know what they were talking about.
Well, I was stole a bag.
We robbed a bank. We didn't even know what they were talking about because we didn't steal anything. And what, bro? I'm not stealing your $7 shirt. How about you just don't put your stuff down and then blame me?
You know, I think guys do that stuff. They try to blame like, oh, somebody took my bag. You know, just so they go, okay, we'll replace what you have. What did you have? I had this, and this. Okay, and they give it to him, and he got something for free.
All right. Well, I did it again. It says Moscow.
Jeff just said he maybe he's drunk and he mixed up Margaret and Christina.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, they're both pretty. Show. Jeff got here late. Show him what you put up on the wall behind your head. Jeff, look at this. Jeff, let me show you this. Okay. Does Jeff have that picture?
I don't know.
Was that on her story page? Because I went to look for it and I didn't see it.
It's in her post. She has like a picture dump, and they're all
in her like highlights or something.
No, just in her regular page, like under posts.
Well, it's probably better that I don't know where that is. And listen, I'm not.
We have a banner made.
Listen, I'm not saying it's disrespectful, but she's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And Margaret's pretty too, but yeah. All right, let's move on.
She's an 11 out of 10, and then you realize she's nice and she plays pool. That's like,
yeah, that's the crazy thing. She's as nice as can be. Let me tell you something. There's this model I know. I've showed you a picture of her before. She is drop dead gorgeous. Okay, As a matter of fact, she posted something earlier today. I think it's earlier. At least I saw it today. I don't know that she posted it today. I'm not going to go on a whole rant, but if you want, I mean, she's well known, so I don't mind putting her out there. But for you kids at home, she reminds me a lot of Christina as far as what expectations are and then what happens. Her name is Caroline McConnell, and she's a model, and she is drop dead gorgeous, right? And as nice as can be. Yeah. And it's so for me, and maybe different people have different opinions based on where you live or interactions or whatever. But for me, I've always had wrong. I'm saying wrong. I've always had the impression that if you are, if you're beautiful, it could go either way. But when you're one level above beautiful or 10 levels above beautiful, and you're like just drop dead, stunning, gorgeous, you're going to be a bitch, right? When I met this girl, I couldn't believe that I was talking to her because she's, in my opinion, she is so next level as far as beauty and as nice as could be. I actually thought she was pulling my leg on how nice she is. It makes no sense to me in my head because I've met so many beautiful women before her who were a big pain in the ass, right? She is so gorgeous. I think I'm going to see her in a few weeks. I think I am. I'm photographing an event. My guess is that she'll be there. I'm hoping she's there, to be honest with you. She's just that beautiful. And I'm not saying this like I'm flirting with her. No, I'm not. Because I'm, first off, she ain't looking at me, number one. Number two, she's just so beautiful. Like that, like Christina would just show me on the wall. Same thing. And as beautiful as I think Christina is, and I carry on about Christina all the time, Caroline is next level unbelievable.
It's almost like when a woman's too hot like that, you gotta comb her over and then try to find something wrong. Like, don't you have a scar somewhere?
I know this has nothing to do with what we talk about here, but when I had a conversation with her, she was so nice, so articulate, so on point. Just like every expectation that you have, that I had anyway. I don't want to speak for anybody else. Was wrong. Like, she was so like you just want to hang out with her because she was just cool, not bro cool. She's still a lady and still held herself, All right, let's talk about the U.S. Open.
We had a request from the chat.
That we stopped talking about beautiful models.
Black says, back to pool, guys. Next topic. I'm falling asleep over here. Well, this is our show. Feel free to hit the X and
no, let's talk about pool. He's got a valid point. Let's talk about pool.
I'll talk about smooth fucking jazz for an hour if I want to.
I would fall asleep too. I'd be with Black there. All right, what was I have a question for you. What was the biggest highlight or surprise or something from the week for you at the U.S. Open?
I am probably going to be in the minority of this, but I was like really down about like all the shit people were saying about Earl. He's a problem, and the little blow up he had with that.
Yeah. I like that he apologized to the kid.
And people took that apology and I was like, oh, he's faking it. Somebody's doing it for him.
Well, somebody definitely is doing it for him, but he probably said, "Go do this for me."
First of all, I don't think people respect their elders anymore.
Oh,
I think that because Earl is known to make blow-ups, anytime he does any little something, people take that and go, "Oh, this is Earl. He's blown up again."
Okay.
When I watched that bit of match there, the two times Earl said something to this guy. One, the guy had hiccups and he kept drinking water. Does that bother some people? Yeah.
It makes Earl go crazy.
It makes Earl go crazy. The second time Earl said something to him, the guy never went back to his seat. He went over to the side. He's messing around with his cue. He's got this bright red towel and he's wiping down his cue and doing something with it. Go back to your seat. You got breaks to do cue maintenance. Handle it then. I think anybody would have said something to him, but because it came from Earl, people are like, "Oh, this is bullshit." Here goes Earl again, typical Earl. I think people have not only went woke, they've also went soft, and I don't like it. I think they had the pitchforks out for Earl. Not only do I think these draws, I think they're set up. I think they're bullshit.
Oh, they're sure they are.
And I think they're trying to catch Earl the way they screwed with Darren Appleton. We screw with them enough. We get him in a disciplinary action. We can get rid of him and we'll never see him again. I just don't like it. I think, yes, Earl did say something. Did the guy take it the wrong way? Probably. But he did do something, and it did require a talking to. So I don't blame Earl for that. I know 99% of the pool public did, and I'm sorry that was like the big portion of the U.S. Open for me, even more so than the playing. But I'm an old guy. Earl's a legend to me. I think Earl deserves more kudos than people give Efren Reyes. So therefore, when people shit on him like that, I don't want to see it, and I don't like it at all.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I also believe that I'm not just saying pool players. I'm saying in general that the younger generation, the youth of today, are soft like feathers, and it's it's horrible. It's
I mean, did you see what that guy wrote? Like, he was my hero, and yeah, dude, that's like that's a Tyler Steyer move right there. That's
what do you think about the crowd size during the week? For the final day, it was obviously full. But one thing that Jeff had mentioned to me earlier in the week was that there were no chairs out. There was, they had a couple chairs out. Why are you having Atlantic City if you're not going to have big crowds there?
I don't know. A lot of people should have brought their own chairs, like that big fat broad that we seen in the.
Don't.
I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, please. Why is pool not a spectator? A go there live spectator sport?
I don't know, man. I figured the U.S. Open, it did kind of get, just like Tech said, it did kind of get a little Mosconi Cup-ish, in the last day. But I don't know,
because it's during the week and people work. But I mean, but there's other sports that people work, but maybe it's just not as Wimbledon. The thing that happens in Long Island with the tennis, whatever it's called, I don't know. Whatever, or Wimbledon or whatever. That's all week. That's an all week event, right? So, but that's has a whole different level of prestige. Is it because it's a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday?
It's tough. You got super fans like Jeff that want to go down for the whole week, and that's awesome. I would love to do some stuff like that, but really, it's like I don't know if people have the stamina in today's society to do more than a couple days. Or who knows? Maybe they're getting. Jeff, do you have any comment about pricing? Maybe it's tougher for people to afford to go every day. With match under the Matchroom banner.
That's another point. That's another good point because, Jeff's there for a week, and the average guy can't afford that, or B, have that kind of time. He's family, kids. But the other thing is, being in Atlantic City. Not that it's an expensive town to be in, but it adds up. I saw some of the places Jeff was eating at. They weren't cheap.
Yeah, it's still New Jersey. It's still 10% East Coast.
All right. Let's move on. One thing that I did notice is they did this cutaway to Emily and she was talking to the Barry Berman's daughter. Man, Emily was Emily, let the girl talk. The daughter couldn't get a word in. I met her once. She's very nice. Could get let the girl talk, Emily. How about all right, I'm gonna tell you my highlight. You didn't ask me, but I'm gonna tell you because I was ready in case you did ask me. How cool was it that Niels was in there? How cool was it that Niels was made it almost to the finish line?
The Niels resurgence. I think with the new agreement with the WPA and guys can pick and choose where they want to go. I think it's kind of revolved some of the older fringe players, and Niels is able to pick and choose what he wants to do instead of having to fight all year long and travel here and travel there. I think the events that he does show up to, he can really compete at.
If you look at Yap doesn't travel a lot either.
Yeah.
He's barely, I don't want to say barely, but he doesn't have the schedule Gorst has, So then I was thinking about this earlier. I mean, I don't know that you can really come up with a definitive answer. Does Gorst win more because he's at more events over now? Does Yap do better because he's at less events or because he's spending more time
Yeah.
training at that high level. I mean, there's so many variables.
Oh, we talked about that last time. I think Gorst, with his successful parts, his cues, and his name on everything, and his social media pages, I think it's able to supplement his income to where he doesn't have to stress out and go all year and this event and that event. I think he's got streams of income coming in to where he can take time, big game hunt. Oh, here's a $250,000 pot. Here's a $100,000 pot. I'm going to hit these. The $10,000 Olathe, Kansas event, I don't need to go to.
I had I'm not going to say who. You'll be able to figure it out based on this conversation. But I had a very interesting conversation with a pro this week, separate from the conversation I've told you about early in the show. This was a different pro about all the things that Gorst is doing, and I guess the player didn't realize that that's my background, right? All the things that Gorst is doing is my background, marketing and things like that. And I was telling the player, rough estimates of how much of all the elements that Gorst does, like how much income potential it is, where he is now and where he'll be 3 years from now. Because where he is now is 3 years from now is going to be mind-blowing where he's going to be at, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about it, and he was talking about, what his potential would be, and if he did that, and what kind of commitment and all that stuff. So it was a great meeting. And we're not done. It was just, we'll be talking about it again. So I don't know, maybe I'll be getting back into the pool, that whole, because I used to do that before for other players, right? But anyway, that I don't even know if you know that, like who some of the players that I used to do that for. But that's not the point of the story here. The point of the story is Gorst is rewriting how a player gets paid.
Yeah,
and he's doing it well, and he's doing it very well. As a matter of fact, I mean, little things here and there, but hindsight 2020. But he single-handedly is rewriting how a player gets paid. And when I had this meeting with this player and he heard the numbers, listen, I wasn't with the player in his living room, but I know he was shitting his pants when he heard the numbers. And rough estimates. I don't have exact numbers, but I bet you I was within 10%. I mean, I've been doing this for 30 years, so I know. Yeah. So I know, right? And I've done it with other players before, not just in pool, other sports as well. But and to your point, it takes a tremendous amount of pressure off. Tremendous amount. If you don't know how you're paying your mortgage or your car note or whatever, if you're like that fringe player, it certainly adds a lot of pressure. I want to say something. Fast forward a little bit, and then we'll come back. But the current WNT top 10 current after the event: Gorst number 1, Yap number 2, Beato number 3, Johan number 4, Filler in the 5 spot. Ridiculous. Yeah. Now there was that incident with that he lost points on, but Kachi, same thing, had the accident, is at 6. And to your point earlier, FSR is at 7. Mickey Kraus, which was all the rage last year, is at 8. Copigny is at 9, and rounding out the top 10, America's Best Fisherman, Shane Van Boening.
I was going to bring that up too. I have the rankings.
I was prepared.
So just real quick, if they're talking about the Reyes Cup, they're going to have the top 5 world players.
Yeah, let's hear
that team. That team would be Fader, Filler, Eklund Kachi, FSR, and Mickey Kraus right now.
Who's going to beat them?
I don't know. That Asian.
You just named 5 Supermen.
Look at the Asian team right now.
Well, 4 Superman, 4 Supermans, and maybe a Robin. There's a Robin in there too.
But like what Yap said at the end of the event yesterday. He goes, Team Asia stacked, and look at Team Asia: Beato, Yap, Chua, Kopen Yi, Jeffrey Rhoda, and 30 more Filipino players below that.
It's unbelievable. It's really that's see that for me that's the Mosconi Cup because
that's going to be an event. You know they
All-Star, right?
We know the outcome already of the U.S. portion of the Mosconi Cup, so we're gonna.
I don't even know why we get hyped for it. We already know the results. Why does Jeff fly to Europe? We already know who's gonna win.
Real quick, we asked Jeff about the pricing. Actually, Diana brought up a good point. She goes, "It's competing this week with back to school, which is a great point." And Jeff said it was $30 for a meal consisting of a hamburger and a Coke. And that's bullshit. And it's, when I go to Mets games, I can get a sandwich for $18. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and the
hot dogs are $10.
Atlantic City is not a place where you just leave it's not really conducive to leaving the hotel. Trust me, you want to stay in the hotel. You don't want to go anywhere near, the street, especially after dark.
Take a walk on the boardwalk and go get some food.
So unless you're like a brown bag in it and bringing your own, and then the other thing is you also got to pay for the room every day, so good for Jeff that he can afford it. One thing that I don't think I have it here and to read you the exact quote, but Yap said something at the end of the match. I wish I had the quote because it's such a good quote. Where he called out the player that just passed away. Not called him out, but you know what I mean. He shouted him out, I guess is the right word.
I forgot his name. I was about to say Wu Kun Lin, but that's the
He dedicated. I guess dedicated is the dedicated.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do. It's
I thought it was you just won the US Open. You got a million things to think about and he had the wherewithal to.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I have it here. There's so many people I want to dedicate this title to, but most of all I want to give it to my friend Chang Jung-Lin. Who recently passed away. He taught me so much throughout my life, and I truly believe I wouldn't be here today without his guidance. This one is for you, my friend. To me, a very
that's awesome.
Awesome. It really shows you what kind of person Yap is. I mean, I already knew that about Yap, but all of the things going on, and he knows to do that, or he not knows to do that, but he's on point with that. Good for him. I like that he did that. It shows what kind of person he is. And I think from the player that died, from his family's perspective, I think that goes a long way because it means it's his death hasn't been forgotten.
Right. That's important.
That players are still talking about him. I think it was a good. I know you may find this surprising. I think I've turned a page on Matchroom. I thought it was a good event. There wasn't too many controversies. There was nobody, that left the wax at home this time. I'm curious about the whole crowd situation. But I think it was a great event. I think it was a great week. I'm curious to know what Jeff was there. And nobody would know better than him as to what he thinks of it.
Jeff was just saying that he's grabbing his luggage right now and he's gonna cut the show short. He'll catch the many replays that we have.
Good. Well, then let's talk shit about Jeff now. Why he's on an airplane? What is he gonna do?
Yeah, you said he turned a corner on Matchroom. It's one of those things. Look, I really don't like Emily Frazier. I think the sport could be much more. She's doing what she can do under the Matchroom banner, under the banner of the Hearns, because they're masters of the universe in what they do. I think if somebody actually had a pool knowledge and they actually had a history of pool, I think they can run it a whole hell of a lot better. Because you talk to players, you talk to people that have been longtime fans.
Yeah.
This is the wrong idea. She's got the wrong idea. That is what it is. But I mean, it's just like regular life. We all got that person that we work with that's this close to us kicking their ass.
Yeah.
I don't have to like that person. They don't have to like me, but we have to accept this thing as a whole. And that's the way I feel about Matchroom. Look, because I can point out a lot of things that I don't like. I can point out a lot of people I don't like. But where else am I going to see Top Speed Pool and see my favorite players and get content for this show than Matchroom events? We're not getting it from the Predator Pro Billiard Series, and they're 2-3 events a year.
Oh, they just added. Did you see the 4 they added?
Yeah.
The cities, San Antonio, which mind blowing because San Antonio, that's mind blowing. I don't know where they're having it, but I love San Antonio, and that's an event I would love to go to because I just love San Antonio. St. Louis, why would you have it there? It's like the crime capital of the world.
Yeah, well, maybe they can reel in Justin Bergman and everybody's hero.
I think the other one was Vegas and Jacksonville, right? I think those are the.
And it's I know a lot of players commented about it that they're happy that they've come out with this schedule now because we know Matchroom didn't come out with a schedule, the 25 schedule until about April of this year. These guys need to plan travel. They need to plan hotels, who they're bunking up with.
Visas. How about visas?
Yeah.
Visas, right? Let's back up. I'm going to disagree with you on one thing, and I have a good example. I think because of what we do here, sometimes we maybe are unfair to Emily or to Matchroom because number one, as far as you and I, we are overanalyzing. We prepare for a show and we're trying to come up with points to talk about and be prepared for, and maybe sometimes we're too hard on her. But I'll tell you one thing that I disagree with that you said. I'm not trying to change your opinion. I'm just going to tell you why I disagree. Before my days in a pool room, I didn't know anything about pool. I couldn't tell you the difference between 8 ball and 9 ball as far as rules or anything like that. And kind of like what you just said, people said, "Oh, well, how you don't know anything about pool?" You're right, but I do know about marketing and advertising and running a business and in a lot of ways, Emily's the same way. Yes, so she doesn't. So yes, she's going to get some things wrong. And which I did too, but one of the things that I was told, and I remember this, and at the time I didn't know the guy, but now the guy's my friend. I used to have a special, play all night for $10 on a Friday, and this guy told me, who has been in the pool business for years, the dumbest idea ever. Literally the dumbest idea. Yeah, you know how much money you're gonna lose that way, and blah 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 blah. And I said, no, I won't. As a matter of fact, I'll make money and you'll see, and blah, blah, blah. And he said, I'm nuts or whatever. And I was right. And the reason I was right is because could I have made more money if I charged, because it's a Friday night, right? If I charged by the hour, by the person, all that, right? On a Friday, yeah, I could have made more money. But what I was doing was taking one day, a Friday, which people want to be in the pool room, right? And essentially giving it away because it was $10 a person, right? And then they were buying in to what I was selling, the vibe of the room, the cleanliness of the room, the staff of the room, right? And then now the other 6 days of the week, I had an opportunity to then make money that way, right? And it was quite successful. Now, because I'm not from pool is why I thought of that. Anybody from pool would probably never do that and say, that's crazy, like this guy did. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you who the guy is, because you know him. Dave, the APA guy that we did the crazy interview with. He said, crazy. But anyway, so in that regard, I disagree. But yes, you're going to make mistakes, as I did. But I'll say this. Because you're not pigeonholing yourself into one way. It's always been done this way, or whatever. You think bigger, or you think differently, or you're just doing it differently. And while mistakes are going to happen, and mistakes have happened, I think she has turned the corner, and I think she's doing a great job. And she's still going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Well,
but I mean, nothing's going to change my mind. I think she's pool ignorant, but that's why she surrounds herself with Carl Boyes,
right.
Jason Shaw.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. Oh, you always hire somebody smarter than you. Always, 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 always. It doesn't matter what business you're in. The other thing is, I had told you I had another point. So I actually was thinking a lot about this Matchroom thing, and I did a deep dive on Matchroom, and I did a deep dive on Emily and all kinds of things that are Matchroom related. And Emily doesn't have a pedigree behind her. Somebody told me something once about her, and it's just kind of like a little tidbit of information that I could have used. And I said, that's a cheap shot, and I don't want to use it. But thinking about that, I did this deep dive, and I actually used that piece of information to do this deep dive, and it turns out it was true. And but I was thinking about it. It's not something I want to use to knock her. But my point being, she doesn't have this unbelievable business background. She doesn't have an unbelievable college background. I got some. I wasn't checking into her for negative reasons. I was really doing it to understand her way of thinking and how far she's come. And she's a pain in the ass, and she's a little full of herself. But at the end of the day, she's doing a good job. She's doing a good job.
Her ticket got signed when her dad's best friend, or the guy he went to college with, was Barry Hearn. That's but you stepped in a golden pile of shit right there.
Well, no, but yes, you could say that, but Barry Hearn is cutthroat, and he's not letting anybody just slide by in his company. She didn't get to her spot because she was sliding by. She worked hard to get to that spot. And I applied that to me because I don't have any college either. And I have no reason to get where I was in life without that college degree, but I worked hard. And at one time I was, very successful. And in a lot of ways, Emily and I parallel in that regard. The one thing that did surprise me, and I'm not knocking her, so I'm not saying it negative, but she worked in a hotel in France. And I just don't, just with her personality, I just don't see her doing that because she's such a pain in the ass. And I mean it in a nice way, but you just don't see her like that. But good for her. Listen, I'm not kissing her ass or anything, and I'll still be a critic. But and I'm not trying to convince you. My opinion is she's doing a good job.
There's a comment in the chat about how we know Black was saying that there's great players in the game. It's not the most organized or structured, but it's only getting better, and it's step by step. See, this is something where I think if people had a knowledge about history of the game, like the late 90s, early 2000s, I mean, pool was on ESPN. Like it was. You would have thought it was one of the big five sports. It's the model's already there. It's why they don't follow it. That's why it makes me feel like pool is like 30 years behind in the Stone Age.
No, because I think the model that you're talking about is broken. Because even though it was on ESPN, it wouldn't be on ESPN today, even if you did follow that model. Because ESPN's going to pay. You're going to have to pay ESPN to get on there.
Look, everything's changed. Women's basketball is on ESPN. It wasn't on ESPN 30 years ago. The world is changing.
Great. But let me tell you one thing that I read that I was blown away with, very impressed. And there's one person to blame for this. Or in this regard, congratulate, and that is Emily. And that is, in the short time that Emily has been building the pool empire for her company. Uh, it is not currently um, more profitable than snooker for her. The Matchroom snooker versus Matchroom pool. Matchroom pool is more profitable than Matchroom snooker, and there is something that was well established, huge crowds, the Crucible, and snooker's a big thing and whatever. And she did that from a business point of view in a relatively short period of time, I think that's a huge accomplishment. And it will only get better. And now let's go one step further. Make your point, but I want to go one step further.
The only thing that's going to make pool better is continuity. It's the Camel series, the Marlboro series, Matchroom, right. Multisport. Everything is like 5 years and done. 5 years and done. It's off to somebody else because nobody.
The WNT branding, WNT branding, is now where all that comes together, right?
Well, yeah. This is like what we were talking about with the news outlet. If people know, like, okay, I need to go here to get my news, I need to go here to get my pool, and keep it going and not changing it. Like every year, it's a different channel. It's every year they got a different sponsor to get the location of the viewing. It's great. Like, can we get one thing? Can we get one thing, build on it, make it the standard? This way people are like, where's it going to be now?
I think she's moving towards that. But because the other thing, to your point, she's not from pool. She doesn't have the background. So a little bit was hit and miss. She had to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I think she has figured it out, and she's now, these are big pieces she's moving, right? These are big pieces on a board she's moving, which kind of brings me to my next point. But things are slow. She's got the branding now, WNT. The next point that I was going to make is the contract that she signed with Saudi Arabia. It's a pretty crazy contract, and it's worth big time money. I would say bigger than any contract ever with anybody outside entity. And it's only for one event, but and she had to swallow her pride a little bit because the WPA feud rested on that Saudi Arabia contract. She had to get that worked out, so she took a loss there, but at least she took it because the contract of that Saudi Arabia contract in Jeddah, that big deal. I'm impressed by that. I'm impressed that they put that together, and I think maybe we don't understand it now, but maybe the Gibraltar thing and the Hanoi thing, maybe that's all. Those kind of deals are in the works, and that's why they keep going to these crazy places that you and I don't understand. But for sure, she's picking Orlando because she wants to go on vacation. There's no doubt in my mind she picks Orlando because she likes Disney or some crazy thing. She's a Disney. I bet you she's got Mickey ears or Minnie ears or something like that she carries with her. There's no doubt in my mind. The thing that she, and I'm not all in on her because there's one thing that she does that I don't agree with. I'm sure people out there will agree with her and say it's good. She, in my opinion, she should not be the face of the sport, and she should not be putting herself out there like she does. In my opinion, she's not a pool player. Not a pool player. And you don't have the history or the pedigree to be the face of the company. I get it. You are a narcissist and you have an ego, and I understand that, and I'm not even knocking you for that. But you shouldn't be the face of the game. Find a face and make that person a face. And it can be female or male, but they should at least have a pool pedigree.
Yeah, there's always everybody always has like a commissioner or something like that. Like Mika Immonen is the new commissioner of WNT or something.
Yeah. I actually think that she should be. This doesn't make sense. And if you were the CEO of Starbucks, this doesn't make sense either. And this might be absolutely crazy, but she should help the players come up with a union. She should spearhead that because because 99% of the players don't have that kind of mind, that business mind to do that. It's unfortunate.
I mean, that's a whole other thing. Asian players and all these federation players.
Yeah.
That would get them so much flack, and I would think it would cause them to lose a lot of money. Those guys.
Maybe just a certain. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I am officially changing my position on Matchroom. I'm still going to bust their balls. Not. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm still going to be fair with them as I am with anyone else. If I like it, I'm going to tell you, and if I don't like it, I'm going to tell you. So
we're the Fox News of pool.
You know, nah. Well,
fair and balanced.
I don't think I like Fox. They're not fair and balanced. And it's my go-to news source. But so anyway, here's my official declaration. I am pro Emily once again. Now, it don't mean shit because she's still ain't gonna talk to me. But she was on my page 2 weeks ago. Remember, I showed you that. I love. I did show you that, right? I sent you that. Did I show you that?
And we do have pictures of her looking right at you.
So I am going to ask you, and you do whatever you want. I'm not telling you what. I'm not telling you what to do. Do whatever you want. I'm asking you to be nicer to Emily. Let's give her a few more years, and you could tell me,
this
Jay,
is not the
go fuck yourself. I'm gonna bust her balls. You can say that. I'm okay with that.
Jay, go fuck yourself. I'm gonna bust her balls.
Okay.
She's this is not the only thing she's running. She's in charge of darts and snooker and
yeah, why not? Good. Her day should be filled up. She should be very busy.
Yeah, but pool deserves a full-time.
But that may not be her. That may not be her choice. Her boss is telling her what to do. She's not. I assure you, she doesn't want anything to do with darts. I can assure you. Emily wants nothing to do with darts. Oh, look at those guys. They're like, they all got beer bellies and they drink. You know, she doesn't want to be.
Pool players look like real athletes compared to these dart guys.
Well, some of them are. I mean, some of them are. Some of them are. Some of them are not a small percentage, but you know,
yeah.
You know what? You know what? I hope I'm still around when she gets this all figured out, and then she starts dealing with the women.
Oh God, they'll kill her.
I wonder if WPBA realizes that they got 5 years left before Matchroom comes in, it steals your business.
I don't know. I think WPBA is happy being a mom and pop league because they got things that they implement that are just off the charts.
For sure.
Yeah. For
sure. Yeah. I remember last year they had players hawking motorcycle raffle tickets.
It's still going on.
It's unbelievable that you would ask your pro players to do that. You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed that you did that. You should be embarrassed. All right. Anything else?
I think you know just let's just rush through.
OTR shirt?
No, I mean this is actually a Cyber shirt with a.
Okay, all right. I thought you were getting stuff. I thought you were getting stuff I wasn't getting.
Shh, Jamie, don't tell him.
All right, what were you gonna say?
I had a couple matches, in the rounds that I wanted to point out. Round of 32, that Filipino Bayonin and Jesus Atencio, who's showing up more and more in the knockout stages. That went hill. Bayonin 110-9. Wu Kun Lin 10-0 over Moritz. That's a crazy, Mertz is a hell of a player, and to get whitewashed like that. Round of 8, again, that Filipino guy, Bayonin, him and Fader went hill. Fader beat him 10-9.
Yeah.
Dennis Grabe, another great performance from him. He went all the way to the round of 8.
For him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even did that midweek. I was making graphics for him.
That Yap filler match in the round of 8, Yap won 10-8. That was probably my favorite match of the tournament. Besides the final.
Oh, you know what else was a highlight from the week? You and I beat Skylar and Billy in the who's more popular category. Not by a lot, but we beat them.
Could you imagine if we both had mullets? I mean, we would have slaughtered them.
To be honest with you, I really believe we had no chance of winning that. And I didn't, ask anybody. I actually was curious what the real results are. I didn't ask anybody to do anything special. Now, granted, I did it on my page, and that obviously will. But the point of me doing that is sometimes Matchroom, I call him Matchroom, but it's really a marketing guy, comes up with the most bullshit titles or captions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then today, while I'm doing research for the show, I see that AZ Billiards does the same thing. You guys haven't figured out how to use AI and come up with. They wrote some. I can't find it now, and I'm not prepared. But I had it. But they did it. They AZ Billiards. I'm gonna ad-lib here. AZ Billiards did a post earlier in the week about a Gorse win and made it like such a big deal. And then I'm like, I click on it. He's not even playing anybody. So
and that's the thing. The better players get to play the shittier players in those early draw rounds.
Yeah, of course, because they don't because they know nobody's watching.
Yeah, they want them to hang around.
So don't tell me, which is where all this has started from, that Billy and Skylar are I forget what they called it, America's duo or the favorite duo or something like that. No, they're not.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're your Matchroom. They're your favorite duo because you're marketing them to sell your product
with the food video they're making, and they're sampling Cuban food with Emily and
that's such bullshit.
I understand they're trying to create stars and any little person with that little magnitude they try to amp up, but
and I don't disagree with that. I think who she picks is the part that I disagree with. I mean, last year, Sam Henderson. Sam Henderson. Where's Sam this year?
Yeah.
I mean, last year he was the second coming of Christ. I haven't heard about Sam Henderson.
Shane Wolford the year before.
Yeah. But don't try and sell things that are bullshit. America's favorite duo? No, America's favorite duo would be SVB and Gorst. I mean, come on.
Speaking
I'm not taking anything away from Billy or Sky, but that's not America's favorite duo or whatever the quote was that they made. It's bullshit. Bullshit.
Speaking of Americans, I think we're being set up for a new American, a new Fader type American on the Mosconi Cup team.
We are?
Wiktor Selinsky, one of the Polish guys.
What? He's coming to America?
He's one of those players that has a neutral flag now. Those players like Christina and Margaret.
Oh, I love that. Well, we'll take him.
Yeah. Can you imagine him replacing Tyler?
Doesn't qualify anymore. He's a Canadian. Hey, I put this on I love that. For the rest of our lives, we're going to call him a Canadian. I put this on video because every Sunday, for the most part, you and I are here doing this podcast. And I know that I have told Megan 900 times that I do a podcast on Sundays. And Megan keeps texting me like I'm not doing a podcast. So I'm videotaping this so I could send this to her and that she could see that not only is she on this iPad, but she's on that iPad.
Yeah. Figure it out, Megan.
I mean, does Megan not know what I do on Sundays? Why is she texting me?
You're making me crazy.
Ha! That's funny. I believe for the rest of our lives, which for some of us could only be a couple weeks, we should say that Tyler is Canadian.
Believe me, if we can can we get a shipping label printed out tomorrow and we'll just make it official?
Oh, I think it's already official. Diana accepted.
Oh yeah, Diana approved the trade. You know,
I mean, she's as Canadian as they come.
We get Ontario, maybe a little bit of Halifax, and
well, hold on a second. I want to be fair. We don't actually need anything. She could just take Wisconsin and
we can do like a baseball thing, maybe like a player to be named later.
And I don't care if they never name a player later. Just take Wisconsin, the Packers, and those two.
I'm waiting for the fight between him and Margaret to where I can we can start cheering for her fully again.
Yeah, remember when we used to cheer for her fully?
Oh God, I was like, man, she's going to be one of the next great players. I know it. And then she got infected.
I can't.
Sorry, Margaret.
Margaret, you know, and she knows I used to cheer for. I can't do it. I can't. She has been. You're right. You're right. She like a zombie ate her.
Ever since we heard that his nickname is Sherman, the little redhead kid from American Pie, who lied about being a virgin. I can't unsee it. Every time I see him, I see that kid. It's such a proper nickname for him.
Hey, now that I have like this newfound love for Matchroom, that doesn't mean I have to find newfound love for Tyler the Canadian, do I?
Well, if you're gonna love Matchroom, you gotta love all their facets, and he's a
no. Then I can't love Matchroom. If that's a deal breaker, I get it.
He's a champion Matchroom event player.
He is.
Would you take? What's funny is I have on my father's iPad that he doesn't use. It just sits on the kitchen table. That's where I airdrop the videos there, and I'm logged into your YouTube, and that's what I load your YouTube from is that iPad. So I see all the notifications, and it's got to be 10-1 the amount of people that comment on that little Justin Bergman clip that we do. F you, Justin Bergman's the best. Yeah. You don't know what you're talking about. If we had him, we'd have won 10 straight Mosconi Cups. And if he was on the tour, he'd be the number one player. I don't know, man.
How did he get that?
It's baffling. It is fucking baffling to me that people think that of him.
This is what I think. This. I actually thought this in my head. This is what I think, and this might be the craziest thing ever. He has, wherever he plays, that little shit room he plays in, there's probably like 15-year-olds in there that look up to him like he's God, and they're all out there, you know. He's like the cult leader.
Yeah. Oh, you know who that is? Cult. That's Justin Bergman, Mosconi Cup champion Justin Bergman.
Or is it because where he's from is such a shit place that he is their Dallas Cowboys?
You know, he did the best thing for a pool player can do. He went out as a winner, disappeared, and now the lore of him is just like John Henry's hammer. You know, it's.
That's a good point. Maybe because he doesn't play anymore.
Yeah.
It elevated his status because in their minds, these 15-year-olds that are defending him all the time like he's something, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but he isn't. To hold the status that these Kool-Aid juice drinkers have is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know what to say.
We've seen him play recently. He's not bad, but we've also seen Fader and Yap take each other to the limits yesterday, and he's not in that class at all.
He's not even close.
No way.
Well, that early thing that I mentioned to you about pool being at a different level. You know, 10 years ago, Bergman was at that level, but he's not at that level now. All right, let's wrap things up. I got stuff to do.
Shout outs.
You go first. I'm going first. forever.
I would like to shout out. I used to have a lot more when I was a active addict. I used to have a lot more friends, and that's because everybody wants to be your friends when you got dope and you're just sitting around getting high all day. But through all the darkness I've had, I've had like 2 really good friends in my life, not including you, Jay. You're number 3. But the people from
I don't even think you like me.
The people from Las Vegas that I grew up with, you know, I have 2 really good friends. One of them is I call him my brother Roberto. But the other one I talk about a little bit less, and that's my fault. But my friend Wes, AKA Scooter, our dads worked at Nevada Power together, the utility power company. We started working there early 2000s. And like the first day we met, we just clicked. And it's been one of those things that we've had a friendship now, you know, over 25 years. He recently just acquired a pool table. I didn't think he was ever into pool. I never heard about it playing pool. He recently acquired a pool table, and he's all into it. And as a guy who lives and breathes pool, to see like one of your good friends who didn't give a shit about pool pick it up and be interested and start buying things and oh, what should I get? Should I get this set and that and this cue and all that? It's exciting to me. And I'm sending him like screenshots from Cyberts and like he's asking me what Simonis cloth is and it's for me it's exciting. So therefore, my brother Wes, shout out to you, my friend. I'm glad you've chose the sport of kings, and I await your progress. And let me know when you get good, because I'm going to take some of that Nevada Power overtime money from you.
Wes, I have 2 shout outs, but I'm going to make them both very short. The Level 2 Billiards sponsored player that has been the longest running Level 2 Billiards sponsored player got her Level 2 Billiards money last week. So shout out to Tam.
Is she still in Vietnam?
I believe she is. She's another one, man. She posted something the other day, and I wanted to text her so bad to make a comment. And I just remember every time that I ever made a comment to her in the past, how she wanted to stab me in the neck. So I didn't. But man, no, let me not ruin the shout out and just say, Tam, shout out to you, and I hope you had a good time, and I hope you're back or coming back soon, or stay, whatever. Just either stay there or come back. Don't this back and forth stuff drive me crazy.
Hey, we need her back, because we have an award show at the beginning of next year. She's our host.
She was so good on that, wasn't she?
Those shorts that we made, those still hit on YouTube, and she did a great job.
She was running wasn't that night she was running a pool tournament too that night?
Yeah. She had a sign on the back of her laptop that said, "Don't talk to me."
Don't talk to me. But this is very short, and I think you're going to be surprised. My second shout out, my first shout out. So my shout out, 3, 2, 1. My shout out this week is to Emily. Emily, I apologize. I know you're not going to watch the 10-minute rant I did on all the reasons why I currently love you again. But that's okay. It's fine. And I know that you won't love me again, and that's okay too. But Emily, I think you're doing a good job. Keep it up. You see, I can be fair, Rob. I can be fair. Don't. Oh my God, I love it. You are back. Look at that. That's the first time we ever had applause, and it was for Emily.
Hey, this is also for you, Emily.
Don't. Can you be nice to Emily, please? Start being nice to Emily.
I'm always nice to Emily.
No, you're not. No, you're not. All right, let's wrap this up. I got you. I'm sure Megan.
Let's close out this episode by thanking our sponsor, Jamie. Off the Rail Apparel, offtheRailApparel.com. You can catch them on Facebook and Instagram. I did that little mock commercial when we were holding up those Paisley shirts. I've brushed by those on the internet handfuls of time. Those are some of the best looking shirts I've ever seen.
I agree.
They have the ones with the little diamond logos, the purple one and the blue one with the little diamond logos.
I would actually would like to own that purple one, that purple Paisley one without the logos, because I'm not playing events or anything like that anymore. Yeah. But it's such a good looking shirt. Is that our OTR commercial?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jamie, for all the help you do for us and those cool shirts. We look forward to doing some other cool stuff. I know he was just in Vegas for the APA championships, and who knows what he's doing now. But we should have him back on, and maybe he's got some new products he can.
I don't know that he gets this level of commercial every week. He gets a 30-second rip and read. That's it. 30 seconds.
He's affiliated with us, and we take care of our own. But I
have a point I'm trying to make.
Let me finish the plugs here.
That's why I was stopping you. I went clothes shopping, two sizes smaller.
Nice
new shirts. Down to a 4 from a 6. All right, go ahead. My apologies.
That's good news. Keep it up. That's good for you, brother.
I'm dead before I get to that, but it's fine.
That is Skinny. That is Skinny J. You can catch him at Level 2 Billiards Live on Instagram. Catch it Level 2 Billiards Live on Facebook, which I think is a very underutilized version of Level 2 Billiards. But don't forget Level 2 Billiards on YouTube, which is where we want all the action to go. And the same for me. I am the Gangster of Pool. My government name is Rob. You can get me at the Gangster of Pool, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Please check us out. OnlyFans, Snapchat. Buy some tokens. We'll continue the show. I'll take off my socks and my shirt. That's about it. Didn't you say you had something to bring up to me? You had a curveball you were going to throw me? You said earlier?
Yeah, I did. The Emily thing.
Oh, the Emily thing.
Didn't see that coming. All right, I got to go.
All right. Thank you guys who joined us. Thank you for participating in the chat. We appreciate that. Please like, comment, subscribe, all of our channels. Thank you, Diana. Yeah. Thank you, Tex.
Thank you, Diana, for that for taking those 2 off our hands.
Yeah, thank you.
Megan. You can text me now, Megan.
Megan, the show's over. Make the call.
What did you call her before, Megan? What did you?
She's making me crazy.
Oh, she is making me crazy. All right, I'll see you guys. Rob.